I always see memory as a stingy, ungenerous kid who lived so long but remember so little. There are so few scenes in our lives we can recall clearly from the past. Maybe it's the moment when you first held hands with your lover, or the time when you first gave a public speech, or the moment when you realized you have been admitted into a great dream university. I myself have a few such scenes related to Toastmasters. These scenes, without being counted, without being told, will be lost as those who witnessed them have gone. So I couldn't help but share these with you in my final speech. Now, let me start with a real story. You know, Toastmaster used to have a talent show as tradition. People would sing, dance, or have other performance on stage. In this room a few years ago, there's a winter evening. One such talent show was held in this room. There are excellent speakers and performers. They danced, they sang, and the auditorium was full, and people, they cheered in excitement. But then there was a shy young guy's turn. He had a guitar with him, yeah. He played and sang at the same time. But perhaps standing on stage made him nervous. He started to tremble. He played off key every once in a while. His guitar failed him. His voice stuttered. And he closed his eyes, obviously disappointed by what he had been doing. I was sitting there, starting to get nervous for him because the atmosphere was getting quite tense and cold. I was thinking, what shall we do? But then, one member right there started to sing along with the performer. Then another joined. Not before long, almost everyone was singing the same song with this performer. This is a scene that never fades away from my mind, because this is a scene that always reminds me Toastmaster is so great not just because of his great speakers, but also of his supportive audience. Now let me move on to a second scene in my memory. It was 2012 when I first became an officer in Toastmaster. I was in MVP team. Well, we were so busy, demo meeting. There are around 100 people here. The EVP was making sure all speakers arrived. The MVP team setting up equipment. The PRVP team was receiving guests there. Everyone was rushing in and out of the room. So busy, so nervous, because we do not know what will happen. We do not know how to get as many as audience, new members to come. But even though we were so busy, if there is anyone, new members that's standing out there, alone in a corner, shy to speak, there will always be an officer going and talk to him immediately, put down all his work. I realized no one was left alone. I thought maybe because Toastmasters just never leaves members alone. That's the second scene that remains clear in the memory. Now when I finished writing these two scenes, I started to write the third one, but I couldn't because the following part of the memory is so integral in my speech, is so vital to my whole Toastmaster experience that it cannot be summarized in a single scene or story. What I'm talking about are my friends in Toastmasters. I believe you all make great friends here, as I do, but as time passes, I don't know many of great friends here. But when I recall those great friends, they have taught me to see the world differently. For example, Claire, my best friend and partner, he just made me realize that being grateful is actually the key element to help her go through all obstacles. She also shows me that it's possible to think for others, to care for others more than herself. That was beyond my imagination before that. And another great friend, I will not tell his name because if I have to mention name, then too many names to mention. He teaches me that the process is much more important than winning or losing. He never cared about winning evaluation contest or award. One time when we both took part in the contest in evaluation, after the speech he didn't go out to prepare. I asked him why. He said, well, I want to make new friends here, but I go out and prepare nervously because I want to perform well. But I don't know that what set him apart from many of us is that it's not that he is a genius, but that he doesn't care how he performs well or not. He just wants to enjoy the moment. That was so different from me and taught me so much. I believe I'm not going to tell any more names here, even though there's many friends that taught me a lot, because if I continue to tell names, I believe I cannot end this speech in an hour. So I just want to say, well, Toastmasters, yes, I've been here for 5 years and I'm leaving, but I believe this club will always remain the way it is, even though people have gone as we inevitably will. I will soon and you will too in the future. But Toastmasters will always be the one that attracts more and more new members, as long as we remember the warmth and care we are shown when we first came here. How people loved us, how people cared for us, how people showed us, shine on us when we were stumbling, being a failure. That's why we stay in Toastmasters, and that's why it's so attractive here to be here. So that's the end of my speech, and I'm grateful to have you here listening to a guy talking about his whole story. I know this is not attractive, but I believe this will go on to be many more stories for you guys as you stay here. 江毅。